I begin, the more energy you give me, the more energy I'm going to give back, so you can totally go, ooh. So let me hear this side go, ooh. Let me hear this side go, ah. Very good, very good. This is going to be fun. So, what this presentation is not about, and some of you might have seen this before, some of you might not have.
Hey guys.
This presentation is not about how I met Mark Rover. It's not about how I met Bill Nye, the science guy. I know, I'm sorry. It's not about how I was like 20 feet away from Ryan Gosling and the star Barbie and most recently Project Hail Mary. And yes, he waved to me. I told him I loved him, and he did wave to me. Because who wouldn't? But instead, this presentation is going to be about my journey working for NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. By show of hands, who's heard of JPL? A lot of you. By the end of this presentation, the next time anyone asks that question, all your hands are going to go up because it is a national treasure and it's right here, located in your backyard in Southern California. How many people have heard of the Rose Bowl? How many people have heard of UCLA? Everyone? UCLA plays at the Rose Bowl. JPL is right next to Rose Bowl. We are that close, right here in your backyard. The reason why JPL is so special is because it is the only facility in the world that has been to every single planet in our solar system. Let that sink in. Thank you. Thank you, yes. I'm going to say it again. JPL is the only facility in the world that has either sent, yes, a rover to a planet, a lander, or a satellite. Every single planet in our solar system. Right here in your backyard. Yes, we build rovers, but we do more than that. I'm standing in this photo next to, and if you remember, 4 years ago, we landed the latest rover on Mars called Perseverance. I helped build Perseverance. In the photo, I'm not standing next to Perseverance. We always build two of whatever rover, whatever mission that we're going to go explore. We always build two. Now let me ask you a question. Just raise your hands, don't shout it out. Why do you think we built two? I saw a hand go up here first. The answer, she said, was just because, in case something happens to the first one while you're building it. And yes, that's a partial answer, because as we're building, like you would if you're building Barbie Dream House or something with Legos, and maybe your dog ate one of the doors, you kind of need a replacement door, right, for that Barbie Dream House. So we do build two for that reason. Something happens to the arm, we'll remove it, we'll replace it because we're still here on Earth. But there's another reason why. Yes? I think I know what you're getting at. So she was talking about modeling, and you can't because of the one in space. Okay, so you guys can put your hands down, thank you. The reason why we also build two is, let's say Perseverance is having a lovely Wednesday stroll on Mars, looking for some cool rocks, and then her wheels get stuck, right? Well, you might be like, Mr. Mike, I see it's got some crazy arm out there. Why don't you come out and just kind of whack it with the arm? Set that wheel free. Set me free. What if you break the arm?
Oh.
That's a bad day, right? That's worse than the wheel getting stuck. Has anyone been to Mars before? A few of you have. Well, we'll talk to your parents about that later. No, as far as I'm aware, no one has ever been to Mars So you can't call your local mechanic and say, hey, we kind of screwed up the arm. Can you go send your spaceship and go fix it? Silly, right? We can't do that. But we do have a spare. We have the second we built for that troubleshooting purpose. And at JPL, we have this land we call it the Mars Yard, surprise, surprise. We have cameras all over Perseverance. And so we know the situation that it's in. We have like these cool little like lasers. We can like, if we need to understand what the material the rock is made out of or around it. So we try to get that same situation here on Earth at JPL. So then, if we're like, hey, let's swing that arm around so we can set the wheel for and we break it, we're here on Earth, we can fix that arm. And then this is very scientific. We do this at JPL. We get this big old whiteboard and we say things not to do. Swing arm and hit rock. Just that simple. Then we go to the next one. And maybe we do some really unique rocking movement where we move the wheels back and forth here on Earth. We set the rover free. And if you can figure it out already, this is a giant remote control car. So we have to send the commands, the signals, do this sweet rock maneuver, and you'll get set free. We send it to Perseverance. Perseverance does it on its own, and then it can go about doing the amazing science once again. This is the best. I won't tell anyone this is the best group so far. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is show you the actual landing of Perseverance while we're in mission control here at JPL. And there's a couple things I want you guys to take away. One, you're going to see adults when they hear that they get that pulse back that Perseverance says I'm okay, jumping up wildly, high-fiving, and even crying. Oh my God, yes, you will see adults cry. Why? Because it's very emotional when you spend 10 to 20 years of your life's work pouring into something for the better of humanity, not knowing if it's going to survive or not. Perseverance needs to land. Again, if you haven't figured it out on its own, we have no idea if it survived or crashed. The only way we know is we get this little pulse back that says I'm okay. We don't get it at all. We know something bad happened. Going to space is tough. Visiting other planets is tough. We crash, we fail all the time. And so when you hear the pulse that comes back that says I'm okay, it's very emotional. The second thing I want you to take away is you're going to notice people are wearing masks. Because we had to do this during the pandemic. You guys are probably just old enough to remember that, how weird and scary that was. We didn't know if we could be in the same room with somebody. We didn't know how close we could be with somebody. We didn't know if we could even touch our groceries. Very, very strange times. And you might say, Mr. Mike, why didn't you just wait till the pandemic was over? Send the rover, like why stress about it? We didn't have that luxury. We are not Elon Musk. We don't have an infinite bankroll to just keep trying things or just you put things on pause. We are paid through NASA. You learn about this as you get older through tax dollars. And so NASA can say, and by the way, you guys are probably learning this about this now. Mars is only so close to Earth. If this is Earth, my finger's Mars. Mars is only so close to Earth every 2 years. And if you miss that window, you got to wait another 2 years. And NASA can say, I'm going to repurpose that money for another project. Sorry, I can't wait for Perseverance. And then what happens? We don't get the awesome science Perseverance has that's going to lead to new missions that will fund based off of that science. It would have been a domino effect. So it was imperative that we launched during the pandemic, doing something very difficult under very difficult circumstances. So go ahead and enjoy this video.
Go. ELD. Go.
We have deemed Perseverance ready to execute inter-second landing on her own.
Confirmation of entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3 kilometers per second, about 120 kilometers from the surface of Mars. It will start controlling its path to the landing target. Parachute has deployed. deployed, and we're seeing significant deceleration. The heat shield has been separated. Perseverance now has radar lock on the ground. The back shell has separated. Sky continues to started, about 20 meters off the surface. Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin singing the band of pathway.
Are you not entertained? All right, Perseverance is 7 feet in height, 9 feet in width, 10 feet in length. It is the size of an SUV. It is a big boy. This is a wheel. I mean, it looks like a wheel on your car, right? It literally does. What Perseverance is doing right now is it is roaming around, and it has the capabilities to find a cool rock that we can see with all its cameras. It'll go ahead and drill into the rock. It'll pull out 4 samples of the rock that it'll put into its belly. And one day, it's going to place it on the ground on Mars. And we're working on this part of the mission right now, where we are going to send a retrieval from Earth to Mars, pick it up, to send it back to Earth. And I promise you, somebody in this room is going to take those rock samples, is going to study them, because we can do way more with equipment here on Earth than we can with Perseverance. It only has so much room to carry things. And you're going to make groundbreaking discoveries. Somebody in this room, I promise you, you're going to share that with the world. I'm in the room too, but I'm going to be gray and old when that happens. But I'm going to feel like I was a part of it as well. So we're all one team. I can't wait. I can't wait for that to happen. That's what it looks like. Kind of what we're working on now. So let me share with you really quickly my role on Perseverance. I like to tell people right now is I'm a manager right now, so I do a lot of this. Just kidding, I have a really good team. But 10 years ago, I was what you would call a manufacturing engineer. And you're like, what does that mean? I was a master builder. How many of you have gone to Lego store, bought something, brought it back, raise your hands, that should be everybody, right? You go home, you open the bag, and it's a huge mess on the table. You got like 1 million pieces, funny looking pieces, all different shapes, all different colors. But there's an instruction booklet, right, that says step 1, take the blue piece. Step 2, take the yellow piece, put it together, right? And then at the end of the day, you have this cool minion. So an engineer was like, needs to dream up of something. This particular engineer at Lego wanted to build a minion. He has to think about how heavy should it be, what colors should how should I make them stand, how tall. And then a manufacturing engineer at Lego then says, cool, that's what you want to make. I'm going to break it up into 1 million pieces, and I am going to now do step 1, step 2. But instead of making, again, a minion, I'm building a rover. More specifically, I'm building the electronics of the rover. the computer systems. You see me right here in a clean room. I got what we call a smock, a hairnet, a mask. This is so that my germs aren't contaminating the hardware because we're on another planet. We don't want to, accidentally send our germs out there. That's not good. And like I said, we're building electronic hardware. This is something that you would find in your laptop, your computers, your iPads, your smartwatches. They look just like that, circuit boards. The only difference is if your stuff breaks, if my laptop breaks, I can take it to some shop to fix it. But when we're going to space, you don't have that luxury, as we talked about, because nobody's been to Mars before, or going out to Jupiter to go fix some satellite. That's crazy to think of. So we have to make it right. We have to make it with the most expensive parts. This thing is going to see some violent vibrations through launch. You guys just saw probably Artemis II launch. Saw how crazy that was. When you're in space, you're going through some crazy temperature cycles, extreme hot, extreme cold, just depending on if you're facing the sun or not. And then not to mention some crazy radiation that could kill anything in your laptop or your smartwatch. But we have to protect it, we have to shield it. And so we have literal artists, state-of-the-art technicians that take their time. And by the way, that circle that I have here that's blown up, they're working under a microscope. This is like, a lot of these parts are smaller than a grain of rice. Very difficult stuff to do. The other thing that a manufacturing engineer does is, let's say one of those pieces breaks, if we come over and we're like, it's not that bad, go ahead and use it. Or I might come over and look at it like, oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Go ahead and remove that part and put a new one, like the Barbie Dream House door we were talking about. Or I might look at that part and go like, nope. And by the way, that part doesn't exist. The person that used to make it, he doesn't exist anymore. He's on Mars, or I don't know. And so then, this is the genius of JPL. Then I get all the brains, all the geniuses that come in a room. We said, we got a problem. This part doesn't exist anymore. What are we going to do? We got to make sure we think about the violent vibrations, the radiation, the temperature cycles, right? And then they come up with a plan. And we said, we're going to use this part, make it work, and we go ahead and put it in there. Engineering. You guys are all doing it to this day. You guys all build Legos. And at some point, it becomes a box. If you ever hear like, oh, an airplane went down, we're looking for the black box. Really what they're saying is we're looking for the computer box because it's going to have all the information, the telemetry of what was going on at the time when the plane went down. This particular box powers the rover. It distributes power to the wheels. It lives in the belly of the rover, to the arm. And this is what it looks like at the end of the day. Let me do a quick video of it actually rolling. This is as fast as it goes. This is in our one of our big high bays at JPL where we assemble everything, we test everything. Testing is so important. We test like crazy. If there's anything about a secret sauce for JPL, you gotta test. You gotta test million times. Look for anything that might go wrong. That's as fast as it goes. We do that on purpose. It's not zipping around. We don't want it to crash or hit something and break. Then mission's over. That's it. Less than a mile per hour. All right, so this is my favorite part of my presentation. So if there's anything you're going to take home, it's this. You will see the landing of Perseverance on Mars. We did it twice. Before Perseverance, we had another big rover called Curiosity. We made one mistake with that one. We didn't put cameras on it. We fixed it with Perseverance. We put cameras all over the place so we can capture it to just ooh. And all the world, yes, thank you. And so you will see that. So when your parents ask you when you go home today, what did you do and what did you learn at school? You can tell them, I saw with my own 2 eyes Perseverance land on Mars. It is crazy. It looks fake. It looks like AI. It is not. I promise you. This is real footage. You will see Mars as well. And you're gonna be like, that's Arizona. That's the desert. It is not. It is Mars. I promise you. So here's the problem. Here's where science is fun. Just like Artemis II. When it's re-entering an atmosphere, our atmosphere will slow it down. And you might have seen some crazy heat. Maybe some shots, if you guys got lucky to see them, you can see some crazy, like, literal fire out their window. That was all part of the plan. They knew that was going to happen. Because atmosphere basically will slow you down. We have one. If you've ever been on a roller coaster, if you ever put the window down in the freeway, the wind you're feeling, that's the atmosphere of Earth. If I got shot out of a cannon, out of an airplane, and I fly at 500 miles per hour, totally safe. My parents signed off that I could do that. And if I'm just going straight down to the ground, the atmosphere will slow me down to what's called terminal velocity. I will go from 500 to about 120 miles per hour. Science, I know, mind-blowing. We know that about Mars. Mars has a little bit of atmosphere. So when this, thank you, when Perseverance is stowed like a baby, its wheels collapse in its belly so that it can fit in that space capsule. When it's coming in, it is flying at 12,000 miles per hour into the Mars atmosphere. I need to get Perseverance down to zero. Thought experiment. What if I told you take your friend's car, go in an airplane, push it out of the airplane? Well, some of you guys are already like, what? This is crazy. It is crazy. And now I want you to land it here on Earth safely. Like a little egg drop, like boop. That's crazy to think, but guess what? That's what we had to do on another planet, and we weren't even there to see it. That's crazy. This is crazy. So we go from 12,000 miles an hour. The atmosphere of Mars is going to slow it down to 1,000 miles per hour. That's pretty darn good. Is 1,000 miles per hour safe enough for the rover? No, it's not. So what do we do next? Parachute. We deploy a supersonic parachute. I feel like it sounds like this. Thank you. I just made that up on the spot. The parachute will bring it from 1,000 to 200 miles per hour. Is that safe enough for the rover to land? Yeah? Well, if it was, it would look like Wile E. Coyote hitting the canyon. Not a good time. That is not safe. We do not want it in front of the rover. So we're having this conversation with NASA about Curiosity, and they're like, how are you going to do it? This sucker weighs like almost 2,000 pounds. How are you going to land it? And we said, I got it. And some of you already know. They said, we're going to build the world's most expensive drone called the Sky Crane or Jetpack. And they're like, hear me out, NASA. We're gonna build the world's largest drone. It's gonna jettison out of the space capsule. It's gonna find a nice landing ground, and then it's gonna lower the rover on a cable. And then it's gonna cut the cable and it's gonna fly away. And NASA was like, have you done it before? We're like, no. It's like, go ahead and do it then. And we did it. We did it twice. Where science fiction becomes reality. So enjoy this video. And this is not AI, this is not Arizona, this is real, this is Mars. Oh, when it starts, it's gonna start right when the parachute deploys. You're gonna hear them talking in mission control, sort of getting data. Remember, this has already happened. All that is probably 5 minutes behind in real time. But that's where they're at. They're getting the data.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we're seeing significant deceleration in the velocity. Our current velocity is 150 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
And you see Mars?
Flew to subsonic speeds, and the feature has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. The current velocity is 145 meters per second and an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
So you see 3 views. One camera pointing down, camera pointing up, and a camera on the ground.
We are connecting the flight plane, flight plane over. Tracking the right target. At 20 meters off the surface. Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
It's your turn. I pass the baton on to you. Because again, this is not about me. This is about you and how I need you all to be the next generation to carry these missions forward, to make the next discoveries. And yes, even, possibly, be part of the crew that goes to Mars. We are going to send humans to Mars. What's happening next? Yes, you recently just saw Artemis II launch. It was amazing. They did a flyby the moon. They did a splashdown over the weekend. Amazing. And why is the moon important? We go to the moon, we have to learn how to live on another object, another, call it planet, okay, moon. And so when we go to the moon, we're going to go and stay for good. We're going to build community bases out there. Once we learn how to survive on the moon, we're then going to Mars. So, the floor is yours. I think we have time for a few questions before we go on to the next portion of the show. Yes? Artemis II left something on the moon. Maybe. It flew by though, unless something came off the space capsule. Yes? We launched Artemis II from the Kennedy Space Center, so it was in Florida. Yes? Can you touch the wheel? Maybe after. Yes? Why do we name the rovers Curiosity and Perseverance? You know, that's a good question. They actually engage the community on like what should we name our rovers, and then we'll get entries, and it'll be like this really cool write-up, and then they'll choose it that way. We'll do somebody over here. Yes. Yeah. You are right. So the question is, how do people breathe in space? How do people figure out that you can't breathe in space? It's just through instrumentation, through testing. I don't know the exact history, but somehow they must have did experiments, and they realized that when there's no oxygen, the higher up you go. That's you're deep thinking there. I like that question. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So how do the cameras not get crushed? Again, they understand environments, hot, cold temperature swings. They understand if there's like a lot of radiation, is vibration-wise, and so they have to build these cameras to survive all that, and then they test the heck out of it here as much as they can. So if we're like we're supposed to simulate like 0G, no gravity. They call it a vacuum. We have chambers here that will put things in, suck out all the oxygen, where it literally start floating, and then we test it, make sure it survives. Yes? How long did it take to get to Mars? It actually took, it can take anywhere from 6 to 9 months. I think this one was like on the nine-month mark. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, but that was Mars. We're going to Jupiter for a mission called Europa, and that's years. Like that thing is just going, it won't arrive there in years, like 5 years, something like that. Yes, it is. It's still in Europa. Yeah. Last question. Last question.
How do you expect to help the Mars? How do you expect to help the future Mars crew during that night?
So in terms of JPO, what's our role? We are robotics. We are reconnaissance. So if they need, like for example, we can make oxygen in Mars. We know that because we know the composition of the atmosphere. And so hitching a ride on Perseverance is this this instrument, this tool we made, we're proving out that we convert whatever's in the atmosphere into oxygen, and we prove that we can do that. So those are the things that we help. And then we keep moving on. We just try to push the boundaries of science, and we hand it off to maybe somebody in the industry to take over. All right, so the last thing I want to do is I want to run over some teachers. What do you guys think?